Welcome back guys. In this video I'll be testing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 on my Rog Ally running on Windows 11. This game was released a few days ago, available on Game Pass day 1 of its release. It's a turn-based role-playing game that includes real-time aspects such as quick-time events and timing-based actions, both in offense and defense. In defense, all attacks can be either dodged or parried. It uses Unreal Engine 5. I've already tested it on Rog Ally. Game is definitely playable. Does not suffer from traversal stutters, but it's very heavy on the GPU. Unfortunately, it does not support any frame generation technique. It doesn't even support FSR upscaler, but it does support XeSS version 2 upscaler. You can enable FSR frame generation in this game using Optiscaler Mod, but on Rog Ally, I would recommend using AFMF 2.1 instead of Optiscaler. The reason for this is that Optiscaler FSR frame generation is a bit unstable, causes the game to crash randomly. Instead of enabling FSR frame generation, you can just use Optiscaler Mod to improve the image quality and motion clarity. Now people who are playing the Steam version of the game have reported that the game crashes at the start of a battle. I did not encounter this problem on the PC Game Pass version of the game, but there is a fix for this. You just need to install the latest nightly build of Special K. The cutscenes in this game are capped at 30 FPS and they have black bars at the top and the bottom sides. Using Lyall's fix, you can remove this 30 FPS cap, also remove the black bars. Just wanted to thank Keymailer and Xbox for providing me with a free monthly subscription of PC Game Pass. Gives us access to hundreds of games. We can play these games for as long as we want until our subscription expires. Games from first party Microsoft Studio and even third party studios are available on PC Game Pass. Even EA Play membership is included. We get to play many AAA games day 1 of their release, just like Clair. In India, Microsoft even supports UPI mode of payment. I'll use version 0.0.4 of Lyall's fix. Just expand the asset section here. Click on the .zip link. Now I'll be running the PC Game Pass version of the game, so I'll download Xbox version of this mod. If you own the Steam version of the game, download the Steam version of the mod. Click on xbox.zip link. Just open its archive file. Open Sandfall folder, open Binaries folder, open WinGDK folder. Copy all of the files present inside this folder. Open Xbox PC app. Click on My Library. Select the game. Click on the 3 dots here. Click on Manage. Click on Files. Game size is around 41 GB. I have installed it on Ally's internal SSD. Click on Browse. Open the game's install folder. There it is. Clair Obscur. Open Content folder. Sandfall folder. Binaries folder. WinGDK folder. There is the game's main exe file. Paste the mod files here. That's it. For the PC Game Pass version of the game, the game's profile won't pop up automatically in Adrenaline software, but the good thing is we can manually add the game's exe file to Adrenaline to gain access to Adrenaline settings. I'll show you the process. Just select the game's main exe file, right click, show more options, send to, select this option, desktop, create shortcut. You'll find this file on the desktop, Sandfall WinGDK shipping.exe shortcut. Just open Adrenaline software. Click on Gaming. Click on the 3 dots here. Click on Add a game. Click on Desktop here. Look for the exe file. Sandfall. Yes. There it is. Select it. Click on Open. I have already added it. Just open the game's Adrenaline profile now. From here, I have enabled FreeSync, VSync and Anti-lag settings. I have installed AMD CPU driver Adrenaline Edition version 25.3.1. That's why I have access to AFMF 2.1. If you are using Rog Ally's official GPU driver, here you'll see AFMF 2. Setting disabled for the time being. For this game, I have set the UMI buffer size to 6 GB. My Ally is running on BIOS version 341. Using a 27 watts manual profile, all 3 power values set at 27 watts. 900p resolution, CPU boost disabled. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to Ally via 2.4 GHz wireless mode. Just start the game from here by clicking on Launch Game. Do not start the game from Game Pass app. Otherwise, Adrenaline settings won't load up. Yeah, Adrenaline settings are working. Anti-lag is on. I'll just use Adrenaline's performance overlay to show you the performance metrics. Press Ctrl Shift and O keys together. There's the overlay. In-game graphics settings. First I'll run the game on medium settings. Upscaler set to XeSS. You have access to TSR upscaler as well on Rog Ally. Avoid it. Cause some ghosting around the character model. I'll set the scaling mode to ultra quality. It's basically equivalent to FSR upscaler's quality preset. You can see the resolution scale value here, 66.6%, so don't get confused. No FPS cap applied, VSync off, resolution set to 900p, display mode full screen. Post-processing effects disabled, motion blur, frame gain, chromatic aberration, vignette. Everything set to medium except for post-process. I'll just set it to low, that's it. Apply. First I'll test the game in Lumiere. Lot of non-playable characters around me. It's the prologue session, good for testing the game. Observing some petals floating in the environment. There's a ghost child around them. Playing as Sophie. Yeah, here FPS is close to 30. I'll just run around. Look at that VRAM usage, 5.6 GB. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck. Yeah, 900p resolution and medium settings seem to be a bit too much for Rog Ally. Big crowd here. 29 FPS. Look at that 99th FPS value, 20. Animation is looking a bit jarring. Not the ideal settings. I'll drop the graphics preset to low now. Quick preset, low. Back to the game. Yeah, FPS increased to around 35. I'll just run around. Still the performance is a bit rough. 99th FPS value increased. It's close to 30 now. 22. Still hitting the GPU bottleneck. Okay, I'll just drop the resolution to 720p now. Screen resolution set to 720p. Apply. Back to the game. FPS is close to 42. Look at the 99th FPS value. It's close to 31 FPS. Animation is looking much better now. Smoother. I'll just increase the settings to medium. Quick preset set to medium. 720p resolution. Post processing settings set to low. Resume the game. Yeah, FPS is close to 36 after increasing the settings from low to medium, so it's up to you. With low settings, FPS will be close to 40. Okay, now I'll enable AFMF 2.1. Should help in smoothing out the performance. Open adrenaline settings by pressing Alt and R keys together. Settings opened up. Now just enable AFMF 2.1 from here. Check its status, should be active. Search mode set to high. Performance mode set to quality. With search mode set to high, it will prevent frame generation smoothing effect from getting disabled during fast visual motion. I'll apply a 60 FPS cap using Radiant Chill. Some indoor areas FPS can exceed 60 on Ally. Idle FPS and peak FPS value set to 60. Disable VSync from here. FreeSync on. Only Adrenaline's overlay can show you the true FPS count with AFMF enabled. Yeah, it's working. FPS increased to around 70. Frame generation lag value 18 milliseconds only. That's really good to see. Anything below 20 milliseconds is good. Real world latency, it's manageable. Some garbled textures are produced around the character model. Nothing extreme. These garbled textures are not easily noticeable when you move the camera slowly at a normal pace, but when you move the camera around in complete circles, these textures become noticeable. Performance gains are noticeable. Sprinting around. I'll also show you a cutscene. Blackbars should be gone now. Cutscene shouldn't be capped at 30 FPS. Yeah, the subtitle text is enclosed in a transparent box, which is superimposed on the game's display. It makes the game display look blurry. Reach the harbor. Show you the cutscene, skip the dialogues. Yes.
I see your apprentices.
Yeah, this is the cutscene. No Blackbars are present at the top and at the bottom side.
Sophie asked us to bring you your coat. We sewed up the sleeve so you don't have to keep rolling it up.
FPS is close to 50. Now I'll test the game in another area, the continent.
It's not that hard. Really should have done this ages ago.
I'll disable AFMF 2. Remove the 60 FPS cap. This is the continent, big open area. Some Unreal Engine 5 global illumination effects may not be rendered properly on Rog Ally due to its integrated GPU. You can fix this issue by installing D3-D12 proxy. I'll just skip it. It usually comes with a performance regression. Here FPS is close to 40. Lighting seems to be decent. Won't call it game breaking during the daytime, as you can see. Animation is looking a bit choppy. RAM usage here is close to 5.5 GB, hitting the GPU bottleneck. I'll just enable AFMF. Open adrenaline. Enable AFMF. Same settings as before. Apply 60 FPS cap. Resync off. Resume the game. Yeah, check out the animation quality. Smoother now. Playing as Gustav, accompanied by Lyall. Switch my character on the fly. Lyall can float. I'll show you some combat now. Just looking for an NPC. It's a big open area here. I can start a fight by attacking an NPC. Gain an advantage by attacking first, like this. Oh, I missed. Land the blow. Few hits at the start of a battle. Okay, I'll use my skill. Skill consumes AP points. We can regain these AP points by attacking, parrying or dodging. Quick time event there. I'll select Immolation skill. Burn my enemy. Need to stop the white line in the yellow region to deal some extra damage. Dodge that attack. Was trying to parry the attack. Missed there. Landed the parry. I'll use my gun on this thing floating around. You can dodge the standard attacks. Only one creature is remaining. Yeah, FPS stayed around 60 for the most part during combat. Perfect timing. Should have parried the attack. It's a good experience on Rog Ally with the AFMF 2.1 and Lyall's fix. Now I'll show you how to use Optiscaler Mod and Special K. Just to be clear, installing Special K and Optiscaler mods is completely optional on Ally. I'll be using version 0.7 preview 9. Daria build of Optiscaler can be downloaded for free from Optiscaler's GitHub. We'll give its link in the description. Scroll down until you find the asset section. Expand it and click on the .7z link. If your game is crashing frequently at the start of a battle, you need to use the nightly build of Special K newer than version 25.4.16. Update log for 25.4.24. Prevent Clair from using SC RGB HDR to prevent crashes in battle. I'll just download this build 25.4.25. Click on the .7z link here. I'll give the download link to this build of Special K in the description of the video, Google Drive link. Apparently, this game has a half-baked implementation of Reflex. This can cause some issues with Optiscaler Mod, crashing issues. So I'll be installing Fake because Fake NV API version 1.2.1. We'll use it to disable Reflex. Expand the asset section, click on the .7z link here. First I'll install Optiscaler Mod. Open Optiscaler archive file. Copy the highlighted files. This game does not support FSR upscaler, but you can inject it in the game by using Optiscaler. Copy. Open the game's installed directory. Xbox PC app. Browse. Games folder. content folder, sandfall folder, binaries folder, WinGDK folder. Paste the files here. Just change the name of optiscaler.tll file to either txgi or winmm. I'll use txgi. Open optiscaler.ini file. Set tx12 upscaler to xcss. Set fg type to optifg, as I'll be using Optiscaler FSR frame generation. Click on file, click on save, close. We are not done yet. Open the game's install directory again. Content folder, sandfall folder, plugins, NVIDIA, DLSS, binaries, third party, Win64. Copy this TLL file nvngx_tlss. Need to paste it in the game directory where we install Optiscaler Mod. Backtracking, content folder, sandfall, binaries, WinGDK, right here. Change its name to nvngx.tll. Oh no, selected the wrong option by mistake. Right click, show more options, rename, nvngx. Now I'll be installing Fakenvapi API. Open its archive file. Copy the two files present inside this archive file. Open the game's install directory. Content folder, sandfall, binaries, WinGDK. Paste the files here. I'll show you how to disable reflex. Open fakenvapi.ini file. Just set force_reflex equal to 1. Description here. It's mentioned value 1 force disables reflex. File, save, close. Now I'll show you how to use Special K as a plugin for Optiscaler Mod. In this directory, just create a new folder and name it as plugins. Now open Special K's archive file that we downloaded earlier. And there it is. Copy this DLL file Special K 64. Paste it in the same directory where you install Optiscaler Mod. For Clair, sandfall, binaries, WinGDK, plugins folder. Paste the file here. Just change its name to txgi. That's it, everything has been installed. Adrenaline settings for the game. Just enable FreeSync and VSync from here. Nothing else is enabled. Launch the game. Before that, just set the resolution to 720p. I'll be changing the game's display mode to borderless. Upon game launch, you will see Special K's interface at the top side. So it's working. You can open its menu by pressing the Ctrl, Shift and Backspace keys together. There you go. OST disabled. Game settings. Preset set to medium. Just set the upscaler to DLSS. The mod is working. Optiscaler. Using its quality preset resolution scale value set to 66%. VSync off, display mode set to borderless windowed. This is 720p resolution. Post processing effects disabled. Everything set to medium except for post process. Set to low. Apply. I'll enable Adrenaline's overlay. Okay, it enables Special K's overlay as well. Just open Special K's menu, Ctrl Shift and Backspace keys. From here you need to disable OST setting. There it is. It's gone. We are in. This is the continent. Open Optiscaler Mod menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. There it is. I'll increase its size. Just click on the drop down bar next to UI scale. Select 1.1. Much better now. From this drop down bar, make sure XCSS upscale is selected. Version is shown here 2.0.1. Source API DLSS. You can switch to FSR 3.x upscaler if you want, 3.1.3. It makes the image quality look a bit pixelated, especially the hair and the bird. Would not recommend using it. Auto exposure and HDR settings enabled. Okay, now I'll enable frame generation. Check the setting FG active. Check the setting FG hotfix. Set the limit value to 7. Make sure FG extended setting is not enabled. I'll show you the debug view. Click on save ANI to save the settings upon game restart. Close. Yeah, displays are working properly for all of the images. The color palette is exactly the same for the bottom, middle and bottom right images. Frame generation smoothing effect should work properly. No hard elements are visible in the bottom middle image. You can see some hard elements here. Press the Y key. Yeah, objective hard element not showing up. Not showing up in the bottom middle image. HUD should not flicker with Optiscaler FSR frame generation on. Okay, I'll just disable the debug view. Let's just play the game. Resume the game, getting close to 67 FPS, 70 FPS, but look at that level of smoothness. It's definitely smoother than AFMF 2. This is FSR frame generation. HUD elements are not flickering here. It's a shame that Optiscaler FSR frame generation is a bit unstable in this game and make the game crash randomly. But with the fixes that we have applied, should be able to play the game for longer than usual period without the fixes installed. Looking for an NPC, start a battle. I just roam around. Smooth experience, no traversal stutters, just a few hitches here and there, nothing extreme. Input delay is not a problem. Hitting the GPU bottleneck as expected. CPU is not an issue here, at least on Rog Ally. There's the NPC finally. Tag it. Battle started. First strike as I landed the blow first. Select Lumiere assault. Select my target. Landed the quick time events. Timing was perfect. Use the emulation skill here. Okay, time to dodge our enemy's attack. It was a successful parry. This was a dodge. Again, the timing was perfect. Another dodge. They can't hit me. I am playing the game on normal difficulty, just to be clear. This thing is done. Oh no, it's still live. Perfect counter. He runs very nicely using Optiscaler. I'll also show you how to improve the image quality using Optiscaler Mod. Load another area. Need to show you a zoomed in view. Currently I am in Spring Meadows. Just open Optiscaler Mod menu. There it is. Check this setting override under Sharpness section. Move the slider to the right side to increase the sharpness level. I'll just set it to 0.400. Now just expand this section, Motion Adaptive Sharpness, and check this setting, Motion Adaptive Sharpness. It will improve the image clarity during motion. Move the slide to the right side. I'll just select 0.500. You can try experimenting with these settings. Save and I close. Check out the image quality. Yeah, it's looking slightly sharper now. Clearer than before. Observing less blurriness around the character model. FPS close to 80. One of the creatures is coming after me. Playing as Lyall, she can float around. Good performance again. And this is the game running on medium settings. That's it for the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.